Hello everybody, this is Callie Hammond from Reno, Nevada, and today our topic is all this gratitude about? So I'm going to talk about gratitude today. Today in the United States we celebrate Thanksgiving, and often around the tables our discussion is about what we're thankful for. And often this month, if you've noticed on Facebook, many of your followers or the people that you're following are listing things that they're thankful for. Often around the holidays, we think of thankful things because we're inundated by the holidays, and we're thinking about our family and so on and so forth. And some of us, though, may be having a very difficult time at this time of the year because we've lost a family member, or this is the time that they passed, and or we don't have family. And so some of us may be dealing with that also, some grief. And that's okay. That's natural to have to deal with grief and loss. And I'm sorry if you're having to deal with that right now, especially during the holidays, because the holidays can be pretty difficult sometimes because of that stress of family as well as other stressors. So I hope that this might help you. And talking about gratitude and what's all this about gratitude. So I'm going to share with you some quotes and some research, actually, scientific research about gratitude. So the first quote is by Zig Ziglar, and he said, "Gratitude is the healthiest of all human emotions. The more you express gratitude for what you have, the more likely you will have even more to express gratitude for." And that's Zig Ziglar. So my question to you is, do you think that's true? The more that you are grateful for things, do you actually have more? And that's a good question. And I think that as we continue to discuss that today, the gratitude, that answer will come clear, very clear, as we continue to discuss this. So here's another quote by Melody Beattie, and she's an author as well as a motivational speaker. And again, today we're talking about gratitude. What's it all about? And a quote by Melody Beattie, she said, "Gratitude turns what we have into enough." And again, the question I've posed is, because Zig Ziglar said that the more we are grateful for things, the more we will have to be grateful for. And the question is that true? And again, I hope that today, after our discussion, that we'll find the answer to that. So there's been a lot of research recently within the last few years by people that have been talking about gratitude. They wanted to see whether or not the researchers are saying, well, is there something behind this? Is there something behind people journaling? Is this something behind practicing gratitude? And what is it? And so researchers, scientists have actually studied it. And so some of the top researchers from Berkeley University, from UC Davis, as well as from the University of Southern California and other universities worldwide, not just the United States, but worldwide. And one of the top researchers and scientists, who's a psychologist, author, as well as a speaker, and you can find his speeches and materials on YouTube as well as Google. I will put some of his materials down underneath here so that you can see the links. So again, his name is Robert Emmons, Emmons, and he's the top researcher of gratitude. And so I'm going to share some of the things that he shared with his research that he's found out about gratitude. And again, we're searching out the answer, whether or not Zig Ziglar was right when he said the more we're grateful or show gratitude, we'll have more to be grateful for. And we'll find that out. So what he said is that he first of all defines what gratitude is. And that's a good question, is what is gratitude? And the definition that he uses, that I like it a lot, is that it's the feeling that we get when we receive something. That warm, cozy feeling we get, and it's the sense of gratitude and being thankful for when something is being given to us. And that's what gratitude actually is actually a feeling. And I thought that was interesting too, that it's actually a feeling. Then He said that people who don't practice gratitude are actually taking things for granted in their lives. And that's a question too to you, is that have you ever felt that you've taken things for granted in life? And if so, do you think the root of it was not being grateful or thankful in your life? Do you think that that may have been the reason? So he continues on and he says that actually being grateful and showing gratitude actually heals, energizes, as well as transforms lives, which is incredible to think about that. So that if you want to be healed, energized, or your life to change, that he's saying that the major ingredient is actually gratitude. And so that's something to think about too. He also says there are 4 domains of gratitude. And those 4 domains that hold and change people's lives and heal people and energize them are these 4 things. And the 4 things are psychological, emotional, physical, and relationshipal. Well, that probably, I just made up a word, but it has to do with relationships. So it has those 4 domains that can heal, energize, and change people's lives in those 4 domains: psychological, physical, as well as emotional, and relationships. And I'd have to add too spiritual, and I don't think he spoke so much about spiritual, but I think it also can change somebody's spirituality as we become grateful. I'll be sharing my own story about gratefulness also today. So he said that often when people think of gratitude, they think of doing thankful journals, gratitude journals, which are great. That's a great thing. However, when we have to add something more to life, it becomes more of a burden than something that's a benefit. It becomes more burdensome. And I'm not sure if any of you found that out or not, that if you add something more to life, because we already have a lot going on in our lives. We have a lot of family, we have to take care of the kids, we have to take care of the house, we have jobs, we have husbands, we have relationships, we have friends, we have church, we have everything. And then we add something else, it will actually add stress to our lives instead of making it more abundant and fulfilling. And so he said, instead of having to do this journal, which journaling is great, it does add to life, and there have been studies about journaling also. However, he said, instead of having to add a thankful journal to your life, what you can actually do is practice gratitude, that it can be part of your life, actually practicing it daily. And he said that when we practice it daily, he means that we stop along lifetime and take in our life. We look at what's happening at that very moment, living in the moment, and we think to ourselves, what is it around us that we can be thankful for? What do we have this very second and this very moment to be grateful for? And that it can be a part of our lives, that actually can be part of our focus during our day as well into the evening, that we can be grateful, that we can notice things around us as well as people to be grateful for, being aware of the benefits that we're receiving. So if we're standing in the line to Walmart, and tomorrow's Black Friday, by the way, in the United States, and I think in Canada they have Black Friday too, but it's where the lines are incredible and stressful because the kids are screaming and saying what they want, and there are other people, and it just gets crazy. I don't like Black Friday. I don't participate usually, unless I've been in retail, and then, well, I had to. But it's a very stressful time for shoppers as well as workers. And so think to yourself when you're standing in line, and this is a really easy thing to do, what can I be thankful for right now? Can you be thankful for your feet? You have feet. Can you be grateful for your hands that you have that moment? Can you be grateful for the job you have that's paying for the groceries that you're buying? Can you be grateful for the shopping cart that you're using because you don't have to carry every single thing in your hand? Can you be grateful for the electricity that's provided in the store that you can see things? Can you be grateful for your eyes that you can see? I get emotional when I talk about these things because it's often that we take these for granted. We take our hands, we take our eyes, we take our feet, we take our whatever for granted until we're injured or something is wrong with us. And but when we take that moment in time to think, what are we grateful for? Those simple things that seem simple, that are huge though, huge. Our vision, our sense of being with people, that we're standing in line with other human beings. We should be grateful for that, because there are times where other people are homebound because of sickness, where they can't be near people. So another thing, standing in that crazy line, you can be grateful for is that there are other people around you, that there's society and community around you. And you can be grateful for the people that you're buying the gifts for too. You have your family, you have your friends, you have your coworkers, you have a job. So look, he said, and I love this, look at life as a gift. I love it. Life is a gift. Every single day we're living on borrowed time. We don't know when the next moment is that we're not going to be here. I remember sitting in a Sunday school class with an older gentleman, and we were talking about the second coming. We're Christians, and we believe that Christ will come again. And we're talking about, well, when will he be coming? And he goes, you know what? He says, tomorrow could be the second coming for me. And we all laugh, but we realize too is that tomorrow, today, the next breath that we're taking may be our last breath. And so that this very moment, we can be grateful for the breath that we have. And so again, being grateful and seeing life as a thing that we can be grateful for, and as a gift that we've been given for this very moment. Another quote that I love by Neil Donald Walsh, and he's a speaker as well as writer. Incredible writer. There's been a movie made about his life and his experience. And he said, the struggle ends when gratitude begins. The struggle ends when the gratitude begins. That's a question too for you, is that have you ever been struggling and then had gratitude in your heart? Did the struggle end, or did it become less? And that's a good question too. So let me share with you, sorry, my battery's running low here, but so let me share with you a time that I struggled. I was on a mission for our church, and we are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and we're Christians. And I was on my mission. I was so extremely homesick at that moment. I had never been away from home very long, and this was going to be a year and a half. I was away from anything and anyone that I knew. And I was very homesick. I went to my mission president, and I talked with him, and I told him how I was feeling. And he said, you know what, I'm going to challenge you for the next 30 days that in your personal prayers, just to have thankful prayers. That's what I call them, is thankful prayers. So just have thankful prayers, just for the next 30 days. So the first prayer I had was really difficult, because I was like struggling with this homesickness, and it was depression and anxiety because everything was new. Nothing I knew. Anyway, so as I continued every single day, so one day, the first day was, thank you for the green grass, because I really was struggling. Because when you're struggling, it's difficult to be grateful and thankful for what you have. It just is, because you don't see the gratefulness, you see the negativity. And so the next day, after thank you for the green grass, the next day the prayer was thank you for the green grass and the blue skies. And the next prayer was thank you for the green grass, the blue skies, and a nice person to serve a mission with. The next day was, and it continued to go on for those 30 days or 31 days, because it was a challenge for the whole month in personal prayer, just to be grateful for things. And so I noticed, the very interesting thing is that I noticed that as this 31 days continued, that the grass did get green. It was greener than I'd ever seen it. The skies were bluer than I'd ever seen it. The people that I was serving with and around, they were the best and the kindest people I'd ever met. The weird thing is that nothing actually changed. The grass did not become greener. The sky did not become bluer. The people did not become kinder. The only thing that changed in my life was me. And it was my attitude. It was my thoughts. And it all was because I was being grateful. And that's it. It was all me and how I was feeling And it was because I was being grateful. So I know that yes, life can change, and that yes, like Zig Ziglar says, the more we're grateful for, the more we'll have. Well, guess what? It's not necessarily that we'll get more, but actually we realize how much more we have as we continue to be grateful. So I'm going to end this all with a quote. And the quote is by Wayne Dyer. As most of you know, Wayne Dyer was an incredible man that was a motivational speaker, inspirational speaker. He was an author, and he was a guru. And I hope that many of you listen to some of the things that he says. And I'll put a link down to one of my favorite talks he gives. So the quote is, abundance is not something acquired. Abundance, think about that. It's something we tune into. So there's the answer. That Zig Ziglar said that the more we're grateful for, the more we'll have to be grateful for. What I'm saying is that the more we realize we're grateful for, we'll realize we're even more grateful for. And we'll realize the list is so huge and so wonderful. And it will actually transform our lives, our thoughts. It will energize us, it will heal us, and it will also change our lives. Psychological, emotional, physical, with our relationships also. As we continue to be grateful for the relationships we have, our relationships will become better and bigger. So thank you so much, everybody. Live an abundant life. And this is Kelly from Reno, Nevada. I also have a Facebook page called Making U-Turns. I'd love you to come over. I have inspirational, motivational, self-care, all kinds of information over there that I love to share with you. And it's called Making U-Turns right here on Facebook. And it's Making, M-A-K-I-N-G, U, the letter U, turns, T-U-R-N-S. Thank you so much, and happy Thanksgiving to you all. Happy holidays, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!